Hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3845. Today's date is January 27, 2026. It's been almost like a it's been almost like a afternoon at 3:21 p.m. Okay, I just had a dinner. Okay, it's a very late dinner. By the way, since this morning I went to another city for some sort of reason. That's why I haven't really done anything at all. I haven't really done any kind of like work, nothing really at all. After this artifact, I will gonna sit in front of my desk and started doing my stuff. Whatever. So let's just jump right into the question. All right. Okay. The question is, wait. What do I wish I had known when I first started creating visual work? Okay, that's a really good question. Okay, first of all, what exactly is this question? Why am I asking this question to myself? This is YouTube kind of question, probably. Okay, it's a kind of like somebody is this thing na ki I ask this question to myself so that I would realization happen that am I worthy enough to consider myself as a YouTuber or not? Because it's been really essential for me to understand this thing. I am been doing this YouTube for almost like a 5 year, and like I fail a lot in so many ways, and I don't want to fail. Yeah, I wanted to grow and things and that and that. uh these are kind of like some question are kind of like help me to decide uh best for me, that what is actually best for me, what is actually my thinking, how do I supposed to execute my content and things and that and that and that. All right. Yeah. Okay, so regarding about the question says that, do I wish I had known when I first started creating visual work? Sorry, there is a one thing I wanted to tell you. Okay, yeah. I always think that ki, like what if in I kind of like went back in 2016. Okay, yeah. Basically this thing in 2016 I done my kind of like a something kind of like a diploma. I don't want to do any kind of like graduation, and in 2016 I decided to do a job. I went to kind of like a somebody another city. I went to Khapar Kheda for doing a job and things like that. And what if I kind of like went back in time with all the knowledge that I have till tomorrow, till today? I went back in time means exactly in 2016, May 2016. Okay, I will not gonna go into the job. I will not gonna do a job. I will kind of like started YouTube. Okay, yeah. And if I started YouTube in 2016 and the same content that I'm creating today, the same content that I'm creating like started in 2016, oh my god. Dude, like it will be kind of like something so crazy. Yeah, like all the information that I have till now, I use this information in 2016. So probably is this thing that nah, I will gonna grow really fast, really quickly, and I don't know, might be in kind of like a somebody till 2020 I might have kind of like earning some sort of amount of money, or maybe I will kind of like started doing my own business and things and that probably. And at that time my age was almost like a 27. Okay, yeah, in 2016. That means, oh my god, basically I kind of like think about all the possible consequences will gonna happen and things and that. But is it right? Well, it's not right. Okay, yeah, like it is really essential to understand that key whatever the person you are is actually come from the mistake that you did. If you never really done that mistake, then how do you supposed to improve today, right? So it is really essential to be that experience is kind of like a very much essential. And even if such thing will gonna happen, even if I kind of like went back in time in 2016, I started this YouTube career and things and that, but there is always be another challenge will gonna waiting for me, that challenge that I didn't know about that thing. It always be there, it always be like a nature is a never really kind of like a somebody kind of like a tell us a kind of like a some shortcut way to achieve your everything. They want a kind of like a justification that why do you achieve that and things and that and that. And for that justification we are trying to prove ourselves that ki, am I worthy enough to kind of like be that person or things and that and that. So, and another thing is that na ki, I don't really believe in shortcuts and things and that and that. Like till now I realize myself that ki, if I started doing a shortcut, then it just never worked for me. It might gonna work for somebody, but it never worked for me. Okay, so it's kind of like a thing that na ki, whatever things actually happened to me, all those mistakes and things and that, it meant to be happen. But still, regarding about this question, the question says that ki, what if there is a kind of like a something information that I have, what if I know this information when I started YouTube? Like I started YouTube in August 2021. Okay, yeah. So what kind of like assembly information that if you went back in time, or if you wanted to pass your information to yourself from August 2021, so what kind of like assembly information that you gonna pass through? Well, I will gonna say this thing, dude, listen. There is a one thing that you shouldn't supposed to do. Do not start gaming channel. Okay, yeah, just make your content, make your kind of like assembly Photoshop or things and that, learn Photoshop, learn kind of like a photo editing, and you will gonna do this thing. Okay, just do not start gaming content creation. This is the kind of like assembly advice like I will gonna give, at least like only one advice. If I allow to give only one advice, then I'm gonna say this thing: do not start gaming channel. Okay, yeah. And this kind of like assembly advice, yeah, because the gaming channel, it kind of like assembly lost almost like a 2 year of my life, very crucial and very important year of my life. But yeah, but it's this thing na ki still I, even if I have this opportunity to kind of like tell myself don't do that mistake, I will not gonna tell myself, I will gonna let my past to do this mistake and things and that, because I think that na ki it is essential, dude. It is far more essential. Like, let me tell you one thing, na. Sometimes, na, you just have to understand the gravity of it. Now, what exactly gravity means? What? A gravity means like that, na, ki, a kind of like how much important was it? Example is this thing that ki, like for me, okay, let's just say, okay, yeah, you first time you had a sex, okay, yeah. With the person that you love, okay, yeah. Now when you do that thing, okay, yeah, you feeling something very differently. Now you will gonna look that particular person very differently. Yeah, like when you went to physical, now you look that person very differently. Okay, yeah. No, I'm not saying that kind of like a look that very differently is like a slut way and things and that. No. Like basically, I'm saying this thing that the person that you love, you are been relationship for almost like a year and a half, and then you kind of like a physical happened, then you look very differently. Okay, yeah. And you look very differently means like that you understand the meaning of love and things and that. Okay, you just feel that the how much that particular person is kind of like important to you. Okay, yeah. Like basically it's that naki, it's very hard to explain until you unless kind of like experience this thing. Okay, is this thing na ki, like this is my girlfriend. Okay, yeah. And like there is a kind of like somebody, there is a one of my friend who kind of like said this thing that ki bhai yaar, like he says this thing that he been through a lot of stressful in his job and things and that, but when he went home and when he hugged his girlfriend, now right now he's like a wife, but he feels really good. He feels that all the stress is gone and things and that, like hug, he talk, little bit of chat, and he feels good. Now basically is this thing na ki I don't really understand this particular thing. Yeah, like just like that now. Okay, you have a stress, you came home, you talk with your wife, you feel really good. Yeah, okay, yeah, like what kind of like assembly a biggest thing in what kind of like assembly bigger thing in that, like there is no kind of like assembly thing that you should supposed to be like, it's not, it's a kind of like a typical thing, right? I thought that, but now I realize that no, it's not, it's a way much bigger thing. Like basically is this thing na ki, like let me tell you one thing na ki, a particular person, like you came from office, you are kind of like a stressful and things and that another person kind of like a take care of you in every possible scenario. She kind of like a somebody tell you that how good, how bad things and that and something like that. Okay, yeah. Now I don't know what will gonna happen, but whatever it actually happened, you feel good. Maybe something happened, kind of like a somebody, you talk, you sex, you do something, I don't know, but you feel really good. Now that feel good, that the importance of that particular person, that is called gravity. That's kind of like a thing that that's what I'm saying is this thing that key is the importance of that particular person you never really realize until that particular person lost and things and that. Like this is what kind of like somebody is this thing that a gravity. I am, it's a very hard to explain, because it is very hard to explain. Like if you're not really experienced that thing, you never really understand that thing. Like like I never really been play PS5 game. Okay, like I never really have PS5. Okay, yeah. I kind of like only watch a kind of like only video regarding about a person who recently bought the PS5, and he was kind of like a play this game. Okay, I don't know, something God of War game. He played this thing in PS5. Okay, so by the way, PS5 is kind of like a somebody is this thing. It's not really that kind of like a new machine. No, it's kind of like a launch in 2020 and things and that. And as also he play God of War, which is also not really that much new, which is kind of like a release in couple of year ago. Okay, yeah. But the way that he explained things, I connect that thing. Like basically what he said this thing, he said that ki when I first time I play PS5, when I hold that controller inside on my hand, I feel everything, like that haptic feedbacks, that kind of like a feel on the controller that you never gonna feel in any controller at all. Even if you have PS5 controller, you control, you kind of like attach, you connect with the Windows laptop or a PC, it might not give you that kind of like a haptic thing. But when that PS5 controller connect with that PS5 and with the God of War, which is kind of like a somebody haptic feedback things and that and stuff, oh my god, he feels that, he felt that good. Like he felt like that I was in the game and things and that. Now basically what exactly is this thing? Why am I trying to tell you is this thing? I'm trying to tell you is this thing that like sometimes the experience, the experience you cannot able to explain. And if you try to explain, other person might not understand until and unless that particular person experience that thing. Okay, yeah. And this is what I realized. By the way, is this thing, I didn't really experience the PS5 controller. I didn't really like I didn't really experience that thing. But I connect with that emotion. I connect that thing. Yes, he might gonna feel that particular thing that he can't even express in his words and things and that. That is called kind of like something that a gravity, that something that in between us is very strong, but it's very hard to explain. Okay, this is what kind of like somebody gravity and things and that. By the way, what is actually my question? I sometimes I just kind of like went away from the topic and kind of like I'm not really sure what was I kind of like supposed to talk and things stuff like that. I'm actually kind of like giving the answer regarding about that ki what kind of like somebody suggestion that, like what kind of like a things that, what kind of like a stuff that you know when you are kind of like a startup and things and that. I think that now he probably is this thing, like if I don't want to give any kind of like advice, or I don't want to know, like basically is this thing na ki, like this is what it is, dude. Okay, yeah. Like this is what me, like basically every skill or every talent that we hold, that we have, sorry, every skill and every talent that we have or that we hold is not properly cooked, is not properly baked at the beginning. Okay, you might gonna give a kind of like some advice that ki don't do this thing, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. But still, is this thing that ki it's not like a, basically as I mentioned na ki, let me tell you one thing. Okay, there is a one of the biggest kind of like assembly regret that I have, that I started gaming YouTube channel after almost like a after year. I realized that it's a kind of like one of the biggest mistake of my life. Okay, yeah, but I think that na ki at that time I started this gaming channel is because of that. I feel that it's a kind of like a very essential. I feel that ki like it's a booming career and things and that, and I might kind of like execute that thing. Like sometimes na you just don't really understand at that point of context, at that point of view, okay, or at that time, or at that point of position. Like basically is this thing na ki like we judge the people according to that ki why don't you do that thing, why don't you do this thing, that thing. But when you are kind of like a put yourself in that particular position, you realize that ki there are so many things that actually happen and things and that, and might be at that time I don't really have any choice or anything or any information or nothing really at all. And gaming channel is the only one thing that kind of like simply give me a kind of like a source of light and things and that. So that's why I chose to be a gaming content creation. Okay, yeah. And obviously after I kind of like simply spend 2 years of this thing and gaming content and things and that, I fail, I agree, I fail, but I grow from that thing na. I learn everything regarding about YouTube and things and that. So yeah. So do I want to give any kind of like somebody any suggestion to myself, or do I kind of like somebody stuff that I know if I start this thing I would not gonna give any suggestion. I don't want to kind of like somebody is this thing that key what stuff do I know when I started this thing, what wish like or do I wish I had know when I first started my creating visual work and things and that. I just don't want to know. It's just like that na ki it is really essential to understand that ki whatever the idea that you have and whatever the tool that you have, just execute that thing. Don't wait for kind of like a be good or have this kind of like a somebody good camera or good computer or things and that. Just do it. That's the only advice that I will gonna give. And I did this thing. Whatever the kind of like some source that I have, whatever the kind of like some things that I just do it. I made a mistake, lot of mistake. I lost lot of amount of time and things, but that is okay. Yeah. Even if like a basically in today I'm still kind of like a, even if like a right now I might gonna kind of like a making some sort of mistake that I didn't really know that the future version of myself might be knew that what kind of like a mistake that I'm know. It's a kind of like a things that it's a never ending loop. Okay, yeah. Like yeah, you are kind of like a simply grown better. That is called upgraded version of myself na. Like basically 2 years ago I was not that much upgraded, but right now I am. And after 2 years I might be kind of like a even more upgraded version of myself today. So yeah, like a tomorrow is always kind of like a upgraded version of myself na. So why would I supposed to kind of like upgrade my past and kind of like a things and that it's I don't know, it just yeah. But this is just my opinion regarding about that. This is it. I should supposed to be end here. I have to do my work. Thank you.